The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Hello everyone and welcome to this webinar. My name is Abbas Ravji and I'm going to be presenting the webinar for you. Now just before I get going and start diving into the actual content, I want to make sure that you can hear me clearly, and it's actually the very first time that I'm actually on GoToWebinar. So if you can give me a yes or the letter Y in the chat box please, so I know everything's working as it should be. Fantastic, fantastic. We've got lots of yeses coming in. That's absolutely brilliant. Okay, so it's actually the very first time that I've come onto a webinar, guys, so I might be a little bit nervous, and I can't promise to be the best presenter for you, but what I can promise you is that I've got some fantastic content that I'm going to be sharing with you, including live examples, so do stick out and stay on with us until the end of the call. And I promise you that I'm going to actually spend some time with you towards the end and answer any questions that you might have. So if you do have any questions, guys, please try and save them towards the end so that I can actually go through the whole presentation for you. Okay, so a quick introduction about myself. This is me, Abbas Ravji. I'm actually 32 years old. I'm married. I've got 2 children, and I've been earning a full-time living on the internet for the last 6 years or so. We actually develop automated solutions for search engine optimization and traffic generation, and we've actually sold thousands and tens of thousands of copies of our software, and I really enjoy doing what I do, and I love being in contact with guys like yourselves who are our actual customers. So we've actually got a fairly cool presentation to go through, so I'm going to continue and carry on with the presentation, and again guys, if you do have any questions, please try your best to actually save them towards the end of the webinar, where we'll actually try to go over everything which is actually unclear. Okay, so let's get going. Okay, so in this webinar we're going to be talking about what I believe to be the most valuable asset that we as internet marketers can have, and that's getting a Google page 1 ranking at will. Now I'm not talking about getting your website onto the page 1 of Google and not knowing how you got there. I'm on about getting your website to the page 1 of Google, knowing how you got there, being able to replicate your success over and over again, and that's exactly what we're going to be discussing, and that's exactly what I'm going to be showing you today, guys, and we're not going to be leaving anything to chance. And the aim of this webinar is to equip you with all the skills that you're going to be needing to actually secure that page 1 Google ranking for any keyword of your choice. Now, if this does sound like a bold statement, guys, then do stick around till the end, and where I'm going to actually be showing you exactly how this can be done. And the webinar is going to actually be split into 2 sections. We're going to have this webinar presentation that I'm going through now, and then I'm going to be showing you live examples and showing you exactly how to dissect a webinar. I'm going to be showing you websites that have low page rank, that have lower backlinks, that have lower domain authority, lower trust flow, lower page authority, and they're outranking sites with much more authority. Now, if this doesn't really make a lot of sense to you, then not to worry. Okay, I'm actually getting some notes here saying that the audio has gone. So if you can just let me know, okay, it's back, fantastic. Thanks a lot, Sam. Okay, the audio is back, so that's brilliant. Okay, so I'm going to be showing you live examples as well, guys. So do stick around. We're going to be going through some foundation, intermediate, and advanced stuff. We're going to be covering the basics as well, but very, very quickly, but only to be sure that we're all on exactly the same page so that we fully understand exactly what we're going to be needing to do to get our websites where we want to get them. Okay, so by the end of this webinar, you will know how to get a top Google ranking for any keyword of your choice, how to know exactly what is needed to get a top Google ranking before even setting out to target your keyword, what Google looks for in a site before giving it a page 1 Google ranking, how to properly optimize and structure your content just the way Google wants you to, how to know exactly what needs to be done off-site. So, for example, the number of backlinks you're going to be needing, the social signals, social shares, and the social popularity that you're going to be needing to actually get your website where you want to get it to. So basically, you're going to be knowing exactly how to duplicate a website success and do better and actually get that Google page 1 ranking at will. Okay, we've actually had a message here asking us if there's actually going to be a recording of this webinar. So I've actually, just to let you know one more time, that this is the very first time that I'm using GoToWebinar. I've never presented before. I've actually set the webinar to record. Whether it's going to record, whether it's not, guys, I'm really not sure. I've actually had a test run with this, and I think the webinar was about only 20 minutes, and it did work. But again, if this webinar does go on for about an hour, then I'm really not sure if there's going to be a replay. So if you do have a notepad, or if you want to take any notes, guys, then go for it, because I promise you there's going to be some real cool information that I'm going to be sharing with you on this call. And I haven't actually shared this information on other video tutorials or anything like that. Oh, fantastic. I think we've got Tony here that's actually recording the webinar. Well done, Tony. Thank you very much. And if we don't get a recording, I'll be sure to get in contact with you. Okay, so let's continue with the webinar. So understanding Google factors. So the very first thing that obviously we all should understand is, if we want to get a page 1 Google ranking, then we're working with Google and we need to understand their ranking factors. And in total, Google has hundreds and hundreds of ranking factors, and they actually work with one another. And if your website's missing some of them ranking factors, or missing some of them factors, then you might not get the desired results. Okay, guys, can you just confirm that you're actually seeing my screen? And I've actually got a screen with a presentation on here saying understanding Google ranking factors. Okay, fantastic, brilliant stuff. Okay, so if you're actually missing some of these ranking factors, guys, then you're not going to be able to get the desired results. Now, there's one thing that we need to understand as well, is out of these 200 or so ranking factors, however many ranking factors Google have, there are some that are much more important, that weigh much more heavier than other ones, and we're really going to be focusing on the more important ones, and we're not going to be focusing on the minor ranking factors that might help. So, for example, a minor ranking factor in my eyes would be, I was actually in Birmingham last week, guys, and somebody asked me, well, you know what, I've got a website and it's set to target for the UK. Now, should I host the website in a UK data center? Sorry, in a UK server, with a UK host? And I said to him, well, you know what, if you've already got a .co.uk domain, then that should be sufficient to tell Google that, you know what, your website's targeted to the UK. If you've got a .com domain, then go into your Google Webmaster account, set your geographical location to the UK. But you know what, if it does come down to 2 websites, for example, having exactly the same off-site factors and on-site factors, and then one website was actually hosted in the UK, and they were both, both of them were actually targeting the UK audience, and if they were actually both hosted, one was hosted in the UK and one was hosted away, then I might turn around and say, well, you know what, the one hosted in the UK might turn around and actually rank higher, but only because it's able to deliver the website faster to the UK audience, because it's actually hosted in the UK. So it's a very minor ranking factor. We're not going to be looking at factors like this, guys. We're only going to be looking at the heavy duty factors, and that we can actually check off and make sure that if we are checking these off, we're going to get that top Google ranking that we're actually want and we're after. So we also want to understand, guys, that we'll only get our website ranked in Google after our website has been analyzed. So when our website goes out there, we're not going to get our website on page 3, 4, 2, 1, or whatever page, until our website has been analyzed by Google and has gone through these ranking factors. Okay, and it's no secret, guys, there's millions of competing sites out there, but there's only 10 positions on page 1 of Google. That's exactly where we need to be, so we're not going to be leaving anything to chance. And what we're going to be doing is we're going to be using a solid understanding of these ranking factors to get our desired results. So basically, we're going to be able to repeat our success over and over again, because we're going to know exactly how to get there and how to do it again. So just in case you're wondering why Google, why do we focus on Google so much, guys? Well, it's very simple, really. I've actually got an image here from Search Engine Land, and what it actually shows you the percentage of global searches and the share of searches from the 5 top search engines. So you've got Google, Baidu, Yahoo, Yandex, and Microsoft. And then towards the bottom, you've got the dates. So you've got July 2007, you've got December 2007, July 2008, all the way to December 2012. So this was the most recent one that I could actually find. But as you can see, guys, December 2012, Google's a massive giant. It took 75.2% of the share of worldwide searches. So our customers are going to Google, so we want to be found on Google as well, guys. So there's no secret why we're all looking to be found on the first page of Google, because obviously our customers are found there as well. So there's actually 2 main areas that when we're looking at search engine optimization, that we categorize these areas in, guys. So again, I'm going to be going over this very fast, because I believe all you guys are fully aware of this, but just to be sure that we're on the right page, I'm going to be covering this anyway. So there's 2 main areas, on-site optimization and off-site optimization, guys. And when we're looking at our on-site factors and we're looking at things like the title, the meta details, you're looking at your headings, your words, your content, the words that you're putting in bold, that you're underlining, your internal links, your actual content theme, so the LSI keywords that you're using, the related keywords that you're using as well. And obviously this is your actual content. And then you've got your multimedias on there, you've got your images and you've got your videos. Obviously videos can help engaging users, increase the time on site as well. And these are all kind of factors and signals that our websites are sending to the actual search engines. And what I've done here as well, guys, I've actually put down a theme as well, because many of us use WordPress, and the theme of WordPress is always very different. So the ease of navigation of our website, the structure of our website are all on-site factors as well. So if you have a look at WordPress as standard, it isn't capable of having a fantastic website structure. So you have plugins like WP Silos or other silo plugins that actually work with WordPress to get you that kind of internal linking structure and that navigation that you need. And then obviously we got our off-site factors, guys. Again, quickly going through this, we got our backlinks, we got our anchor text, we've got the social signals and the social shares, we've got the referring IPs and the referring domains, all of which are actually taken and into consideration for in our off-site factors. Sorry. Okay, so the two main areas are on-site and off-site, and what I do myself, guys, I like to actually break it down a little bit further, just so that it's much more easier to manage. Okay, we've got some questions coming in, guys. If you can save these questions for later on, that'd be fantastic. And what I'm going to actually do is I'm going to minimize this chat box just so that I don't get distracted, guys, because I've got quite a few questions to go through. Sorry, I've got quite a few, I've got some really cool content to go through. We can actually save, and I'll promise you I'll spend some time towards the end to answer any questions that you have. So anyway, we've got the main areas, on-site and off-site. Again, I like to break it up so into nice, bite-sized, manageable areas, so that we can actually understand it a little bit further. So another factor that I've actually included in this, guys, is domain factors, the age of a website, the age of a domain, the authority of the domain, and the history of the domain. So you might have actually seen one of my previous video tutorials where I actually go through buying expired domains and expiring domains, and I talk about how you can pick up domains that have high domain authority, that have high PR, or domains that have been registered since, like, say 2004, that are 10 years old, and you can really leverage that age, the authority, and the history of the domain and build a brand new site on that, and really influence your ranking instead of actually buying a brand new domain. And the reason behind that, guys, is simple, and that's exactly why so many people go out there to actually buy expired domains and domains that are expiring, because you can benefit, and it does influence your search engine ranking. Okay, so I've actually got a couple of questions for you guys. Now, I'm going to be answering these questions anyway, so you don't need to actually reply to them in the questions box. Okay, so it's just to get your mind going, in so to say. So does a website that has plenty of backlinks but hardly any traffic look natural? So let's say, for example, a website's got 1,000 backlinks pointing to it, but on a daily basis it only gets about 2 or 3 visitors. So we've already got some notes coming in the chat box saying, no, it doesn't look natural. And that's true, it doesn't look natural, guys. You've got 1,000 links coming to your website, but you hardly got any traffic. And you know what? Google has ways to find this out. They have their own applications. They have things like Google Chrome. They have Google, they've got the Firefox browser as well, guys, all of which can be taking data, finding out exactly what the behavior of visitors are to certain websites, and they can use this data and find out exactly what's actually happening, how many kind of visitors you've got. Obviously, you've got things like Google Analytics. If you're using Google Analytics, if you're using Google AdSense as well, who knows what data Google is taking. And obviously, when you're using Google search engine as well, they're putting cookies into your actual browsers. Who knows what these cookies actually do? We only know what Google tell us, and obviously they might be protecting a number of things for their own IP benefits. Intellectual property benefits. Sorry. It's very difficult to know exactly what kind of information they're getting. So it's very important to understand that, yes, they do have the means to get this information though. So I've got another question as well, guys. So what does a website that has lots of traffic but a very high bounce rate tell Google? So this time, let's have a look at it on the other way around. So this time, a website's getting 1,000 visitors a website's getting 1,000 visitors, but out of them 1,000 visitors, the majority, or 90% of them visitors, are clicking the back button or closing out of the website within 3 to 5 seconds. Now, what does that tell Google? It actually tells Google that, you know what, it's a low quality site, it's not fulfilling the user's need, there's no engagement on there, and you know what, the site actually looks very, very spammy. The user's going to the site and within the first 2 or 5 seconds is clicking away from it and is going away, and it's not fulfilling the user's need. Now, another way that you can actually look at this as well, guys, is if I take you to, I think I've actually got a note on here. Okay, think about click-through rate as well. So think about Google AdSense, or think about, you know, Facebook ads as well. The better your click-through rate, the more you're going to get rewarded with a lower payment that you can actually pay for the actual ad click, and the higher position that you're actually going to be put towards wherever your actual ad is going to be positioned. And the reason behind that, guys, is because your ads, it's more, people are engaging with your ad even more. People are looking for that kind of ad, and that's exactly the kind of content that users, that Facebook and Google want to actually show. So in the same way, if you have a look at one of our products, guys, SociSync, we've actually got a feature in there, Google Search and Click. And what that feature does, it allows you to enter your keyword into the search engine, and as long as your website's on the first 10 pages of Google, it's going to find it, it's going to click on it, it's going to stay on your website, and then it's going to click through some internal pages. And the reason it does this, guys, is because it's looking for your website for that keyword, and if it finds that if it finds your website for there, it's going to click on there and stay on there, and it's basically showing Google and sending signals to Google that, you know what, this website's being found for this keyword, it's getting clicked on, and people are remaining on that website. So you know what, Google's going to start increasing your website's position in their search engine because of how users are actually behaving on your actual website. So this is another area that we need to look at as well, behavior of our actual users, the kind of signals our websites are actually sending Google. So yes, you know, this is very important as well. But one thing obviously we need to look at is, you know what, our websites might get ranked in the beginning with our on-site and off-site factors as well, but the actual behavior might take a little bit of time after our websites have been ranked to actually get some good quality signals on what's actually happening, because obviously your website needs to be ranked to actually get the signals. Okay, so let's continue. So basically we're breaking up into 4 bite-sized areas, guys. We've got on-site, we've got off-site, we've got domain factors, and we've got the traffic and behavior that are all going to be reflecting and influencing a website's ranking. And once we understand how each part works with one another, then it actually becomes very easy for us to manipulate things to our advantage for getting a page 1 Google ranking. So I'm going to quickly explain what area of each of these actually influence what areas of our actual rankings. So for example, on-site factors, guys, they send Google the theme of our actual site, what we should be ranking for. We're going to optimize our titles, we're going to optimize our headings, we're going to, you know, we're going to be using our keywords in our text, we're going to have LSI keywords, and our theme is going to be optimized, really sending the proper kind of signals that we want to be, what our website should be ranking for. Offsite, that helps us provide trust and authority for our websites. We're going to be getting backlinks from other websites, other aged websites, and we're going to be leveraging that authority and bringing that authority over to our website. And also, it also helps reassure our actual website theme. Now, when I say that our website theme, I want about our on-site theme. So let's say, for example, you was to get a relevant link from, say your website was about acne treatment, and you was to get a relevant link from another website that was about acne treatment, or I don't know, skin issues or whatnot, then that relevancy would actually provide that reassurance of exactly what your on-site factors are about as well. So basically, your on-site and off-site are working in harmony. In the same way, guys, you know, if you had a link coming from a website that was surrounded around text that was about your actual content, so your niche, then that can also bring up the relevancy as well. So obviously, domain factors, we've been through this just a moment ago. It provides authority factors for the actual website, and then we've got our traffic and behavior, which provides further authority signals such as time spent on site, the bounce rate, and the engagement as well. So basically, how to know what is actually needed, though, for a top Google ranking, and that's what it all boils down to, and that's exactly what we're going to be talking about now. I'm just going to take a quick sip of this water, guys. Fantastic, and I'm really sorry for saying that. Normally, if I'm on a video tutorial, I'll just put the video on pause. Okay, so let's get going. So it's actually very, very simple once you know how. We'll actually be looking at who Google's already ranking for our keywords, and then analyze various factors and metrics for them websites to see exactly why Google is ranking them. And if we do this, guys, by doing this, we're going to be eliminating any guesswork whatsoever. So we're going to go over to Google, we're going to find out whatever keyword we're going to want to rank for, we're going to enter that into Google, we're going to see exactly who Google's ranking, we're going to open up these websites, we're going to analyze on-site factors, off-site factors, find out everything that we can about these 10 websites, and from that, guys, we're going to know exactly what's needed for a top Google ranking. Now, just before you're thinking, well, you know what, this might be so tedious or it might be so time consuming, well, not if you have the correct tools. Now, again, guys, I'm not going to be selling you anything on this webinar. I might be using tools to show you and aid me to actually speed things up, but there's nothing for sale on this webinar, guys. There's only pure content, and any tools that I will be using are only there, and I'll actually be showing you how to do everything manually anyway. Okay, so let's have a look. When analyzing the SERPs, so the search engine ranking pages, we'll be looking to see exactly who Google is ranking on page 1 and determine how they got there by analyzing on-site and off-site factors. So we'll be looking at the actual website to look at on-site factors, and we'll also be looking at off-site factors such as DA, PA, TF, and PR. If you don't know what they are, guys, not to worry. They just stand for Domain Authority, Page Authority, Trust Flow, and Page Rank, and I'm going to be going through these very quickly shortly as well. And we're also going to be looking at social signals and social shares, because they're very key in our search engine rankings in the current day and age. We're going to be looking and taking data from 2 main sources, Moz.com and Majestic SEO. From Moz.com, we're going to be looking at Domain Authority and Page Authority. It's basically DA and PA, and it's Moz's way. They actually use like 40 ranking factors to give you a score, to give any website a score between 0 and 100. The higher the number, the more authority in the eyes of Moz, and with Moz's ranking factors you have. And they look at various things such as the number of linking root domains going to a website, the number of total links going to a website, the quality of these links, and their own Moz rank and Moz Trust, which is very similar to Trust Flow and Citation Flow of Majestic SEO. And then obviously with Majestic SEO, we're going to be looking at Trust Flow. Obviously we're going to be looking at the backlinks. We're going to be looking at anchor text links for Majestic SEO as well. But obviously when it comes to the actual Trust Flow, which is one of the areas that we're going to look at as well, it's actually what it is. They actually give you a number as well. The higher the number, the more trust your website has. And the Trust Flow is a number predicting how trustworthy a page is based on how trustworthy the actual backlinks are that link to that page. So for example, if you've got a website, your Trust Flow is going to be based on how authoritative and how trustworthy your backlinks are. So that's how Trust Flow actually works. So now it's time to go and have a look at some live examples, guys. So I'm going to take away and get out of this presentation, and I'm going to take you over to Google. Okay, so I'm on Google here, guys. I'm actually on Google. I'm on a Google private browser here. And what we're going to do, I'm going to look at some live examples. I'm going to show you the search engines. I'm going to be showing you exactly what I look at, what we should all be looking at, and I'm going to be showing you examples as well of websites ranking in Google that really look out of place, but they're still there, and why they're actually there as well, which is the most important part. So I know many people actually sell physical products, so I'm going to start off with a physical product keyword. I'm going to look at a keyword, cheap LCD TVs. I actually used to sell LCD TVs in the past, guys. So I'm going to type that in here, cheap LCD TV. Okay, and what we're going to be looking at, we're going to be looking at the organic results. We're not going to be looking at, okay, let me just confirm that you guys can actually still see my screen. Can you see my screen, guys? Can you see me going over to Google? Fantastic. Okay, brilliant. Okay, okay, the chat box is minimized again, guys. Very sorry if you're making any notes now. Okay, brilliant. Everyone's saying yes. Fantastic. Okay, so I'm in Google. I've typed in cheap LCD TV. What we're going to be looking at and what we're really focusing on are the organic results, which are these results here. So underneath cheapLCDTV.co.uk, all the way down to the very bottom one, which are the 10 results. We're not going to be looking at the 3 top ads, and we're not going to be looking at the ads down here. And basically, the idea of this, what we're looking to do now is we want to rank for the word cheap LCD TV. That's our whole aim and our whole idea of this. So we already know now, Google is ranking these websites here organically. Now the first thing that I would do, and the first thing that we all should be doing, is visiting the websites. We'll need to visit every single one of these websites, guys, because don't forget, if you actually have a look at the competition here, the competition here says it's 41 million. Now, we're not worried about page 2, page 3, page 4. You know, let the other people worry about them. We're worried about the page 1 ranking. So we are only going to be looking at the top 10 pages, looking at our competition, our real competition. Okay, so I'm going over to cheap-lcdtv.co.uk. I'm going to be showing you very briefly what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be having a look at the website. I'll be having a look at the category pages. I can see from here they're doing LCD TVs, LED TVs, and whatnot you hear. I'll actually have a look at the page source. I'll have a look here. I'll have a look at the descriptions, the keywords. I'll have a look for the heading tags as well. I'll have a look at H1, do a Control F. I'll have a look at the H2 tags as well. I'll have a look to see who they're linking out to, who they're linking into as well. And then I'll actually take their website URL. Oops, I should have taken that just a minute ago. Okay, I'll take that, and I've actually got Majestic SEO opened up in here, guys, because I'm actually logged into my account. I'll go over to Majestic SEO, and I'll have a look at their backlink profile. I'll have a look at their trust flow. I'll have a look at their citation flow. Well, obviously, I'll just normally look at the number of backlinks instead of the citation flow. And I'll actually do exactly the same thing, and then I'll go over to Open Site Explorer, guys, and I'll do exactly the same thing with Open Site Explorer as well. I'll have a look at the domain authority. Sorry, Open Site Explorer is part of moz.com, which I went over in the actual presentation here, moz.com. Okay, and I'll actually have a look at various factors such as the domain authority, the page authority, and I'll do exactly the same, guys, for the other remaining sites that are ranking on the first page of Google. Okay, so I'll do it for Tesco, I'll do it for eBuyer, I'll do it for DirecTVs, and couriers.co.uk, and then I'll be able to get a good understanding of exactly what kind of authority you need to be on that first page of Google. But it also sends me so much more signals as well. So when you actually have the data lined up in front of you guys, it's so much more easier to put things into perspective to see exactly what's going on. So again, as mentioned to you, I will be using some tools, guys. Now, the tool that I'm going to be using now is called Page One Genetics. Now, I know many of you might have already got Page One Genetics. We actually had a 6-day customer special for Page One Genetics. It's not available for sale, guys. So if you go over to the website, you're only going to see an opt-in list to get on the waiting list. So it's not for sale, but I'm going to be using this. And again, if you are a Page One Genetics user, guys, I must apologize firstly because we've actually released a number of updates to the software, and I haven't managed or haven't been able to actually send you out an email about it. But the good news is you have all of these extra features to actually work with. So let me just open this up. And what I'm going to do in here, I'm going to type in cheap LCD TV, exactly the same keyword that I entered in Google. Now, I've actually been using Page One Genetics all day, guys. So if I do get blocked by my browser or by Google, I've got proxies in here so I can actually use them. I'm going to use 10 threads. I'm not going to be using proxies at the moment because I want to try and get the very closest kind of results as I get in my own browsers for my own location. So anyway, this is going out, guys. As you can see, cheap LCD TV is the #1 ranking site. And then we've got Tesco, Amazon. Okay, so the results are a little bit different from here, guys. Here we've got Tesco, and then we've got eBuyer, and then we've got DirecTVs. But I think the reason for that is because we're using google.com, and here I'm using google.co.uk. So what this is doing, guys, I'm going to let this finish, but what this is doing, it's actually queried Google, found the top 10 listings in Google, it's queried the page rank, found the number of indexed pages that Google is indexing for these actual websites, it's found the number of backlinks for these URLs, the trust flow, the domain authority, the page authority, and then it's queried some on-site factors as well. We can get much more on-site factors when we export the results to CSV, and obviously it's found some social signals and everything on there as well. Now, what I'm going to be looking at is showing you exactly what kind of information we're looking for and exactly how we can find out what's needed for a top Google ranking and why websites are ranking where they are. So the very first thing from the results, guys, that I want to point you towards is 2 sites that stand out to me, and that's this site here, cheap-lcdtv.co.uk and directtvs.co.uk. Now, the reason they stand out to me is because they're both home pages. They're the only home pages on the first page of Google. The rest of these sites are all inner pages. So that's nothing huge, but it's just something to take into account, guys, because Tesco.com there, direct, and obviously it's an inner page, it's a page rank 4. Just imagine what the home page is going to be like. So it's just something that I like to look at is, you know what, these 2 are home pages, the rest of them are not. Okay, so let's have a look at the page rank. So the page rank of the very first ranking site is PR2. The rest of them are like PR4, PR3, PR2. Where it says -1, guys, that means it hasn't actually been awarded yet. So obviously your Amazon.com website, you know, -1 on one of the inner pages, it just hasn't been awarded. It isn't that it hasn't got no authority in there whatsoever. And obviously, as you're fully aware, PageRank gets updated so infrequently now that it's not a good ranking factor that we can go with. But if we was going to go with this, guys, then you'd think, well, hang on, Tesco.com has got a PageRank 4. That should be ranking higher than cheap-LCD TVs. Actually, looking at cheap-LCD TVs, it's got one of the lowest page ranks on here, so it should be ranking towards the bottom. But that isn't the case, and I'm going to be explaining that to you as well. Let's have a look at the number of index pages now. Now, it's very clear to see for cheap-lcdtv.co.uk, it's got the fewest number of pages in Google. Now, I'm going to show you what I mean by sites, by index pages. So I've got site, and I'm going to write in soshisind.com. And see this number here, guys, 847. So that's 847 pages from the domain socisin.com that Google's got indexed in search results. And that's what this is here, basically. So cheap-LCD TV has got 3,510 pages indexed in Google. But if you have a look at this compared to all of these other websites down here, guys, it's clear to see it's got the it's got the fewest pages out of every other website on here. So what does that mean to us? Does that mean that the fewer the pages we have, then the higher we are to rank? No, it doesn't mean that. I'm going to be explaining to you what it means as well, guys. So I don't need you to reply into the text box. But yeah, I'm going to be totally explaining exactly what that means. But let's have a look at some more factors first. Let's have a look at the backlink count as well. It's clear to see that this website here also has the lowest amount of backlinks compared to all of these other websites here as well. So it has the lowest page rank, it has the lowest number of index pages, it has the lowest number of backlinks. Have a look at this. It has the lowest trust flow on here, it has the lowest domain authority on here, it has the lowest page authority in here, yet it's outranking Tesco.com, Amazon.com, eBuyer.com, and all of these other websites out there. Let's continue and let's continue with our analysis and see exactly why this can be. So obviously these are just factors and things that are just standing out to help me understand exactly what's going on with this website, but it still doesn't answer the question why it's ranking higher, because really if I was going by these signals, then this really should be ranking towards the very bottom, or it shouldn't even be on the first page of Google. But let's continue. Let's have a look at the offsite factors. So the offsite factors, guys, okay, let's have a look at the social signals and the social aspect of this website. So this actually looks at Facebook likes, Google pluses, LinkedIn shares, Twitter retweets, Delicious, Stumble Upon, and Pinterest likes and shares as well. So here, as you can see, it's below average, or it's about average actually, because if you have a look at the social aspects there, you've got a lot of websites with hardly any Facebook likes, you've got a lot of websites with hardly any G pluses. So you know what, if anything, it's a bit below average, if not average. It's nothing that stands out to me. But what does stand out to me is this here, okay, the on-site factors. Right, this isn't the only thing that stands out to me. I'm going to explain more, guys, and this isn't the only reason why as well. So obviously it's got the keyword in the title, it's got the keyword in the URL, so have a look at that. It's a keyword-rich domain, guys. That's a exact match domain, cheap-lcdtv.co.uk. So for anyone that, you know, that felt in the past anyway when there was an exact match domain penalty, it wasn't an exact match domain penalty. It was actually a shallow, spammy site kind of penalty, where websites only had about 3-4 pages. Obviously, this hasn't got 3-4 pages, guys, and it is an exact match domain. So it's clear to see that, you know what, there wasn't an exact match domain penalty out there. Now, the issue with the actual shallow site penalty was that so many internet marketers were actually registering exact match domains and only creating pages, 1 or 2 pages for review sites. And because of that, guys, when the actual shallow site penalty came out, or sites that only had a few pages or whatnot, then a number of them exact match domain will actually hit. Okay, okay, I've actually got a note in the chat box here saying that the audio keeps disappearing, or it keeps going every couple of minutes. Now, is everyone actually experiencing this problem, or nope? Okay, fantastic, stays on here, brilliant. Okay, okay, it sounds like everyone's saying it's fantastic. So it could be just your problem there with your internet connection. So you know, maybe it's something. Okay, fantastic. Everyone's saying it's coming out perfectly, so that's brilliant. Okay, I'm going to minimize the chat box again, guys, so I can continue with the presentation. Okay, so it's clear here, guys, that, you know what, this has got, by looking at the factors here, it's got much lower authority than all of these websites. Now, one thing that's really sticking out to me, guys, and I'm sure the Page One Genetic users that are actually using this are actually feeling the same, is, you know what, we don't have an aged area on here, an area where we can find out how old the actual website is. And obviously in my presentation I mentioned the domain factors, the age of a website, so I think that's a very important area that we need to get updated into Page One Genetics. So I think I'm going to try and get that updated in here as well, guys, because that would really help with the understanding and really showing us exactly what's going on. So anyway, the things that are working for this website, guys, it's got an exact match domain. That's working for it. It's working fantastic. Everyone knows in the past as well, getting an exact match domain, getting up there for your keyword is real cool. Now, obviously, you might face some issues with your anchor text, because, you know, if you're obviously always using your anchor text, your own raw URL to actually link back to your website, then where's the actual branding? You know, cheap LCD TV is going to be classed as a brand, or is it going to be classed as a spammy keyword? So there's a bit of that, I don't know, there's that part of the area that you actually need to take into consideration as well. So anyway, it's got it in the title, it's got into the H tag. So here, by looking at it from this angle, guys, I can clearly say, well, you know what, it's got some on-site optimization that's working in its favor compared to other websites here. But still, you know, does that on-site optimization justify this website ranking above every single one of them? Well, you know what, if we look into it further and a little bit more, guys, then we'll actually be able to understand, no, you know what, there's other factors that are playing in this as well. And the way to actually understand this, guys, obviously you go over to the website, I can export the results, guys, and I can actually see the page title, I can see so many things. If you've seen the Page One Genetics video, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But I'm not going to do that now because I'm not trying to pitch you a software. So anyway, the way to find this out, guys, is to actually have a look at the competition. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over to Tesco.com direct. I'm going to click on here, go over to this website, and I'm going to have a look at this website, and let's see what we can figure out and see what's going on with this website. Obviously, it's got more page rank, it's got more authority, it's a larger website. It's selling 3D TVs, it's selling TVs, LCD TVs, LED TVs, plasma TVs, projectors, smart TVs, television accessories. So it's got absolutely everything with TVs. And if you have a look at it, and if you know about silo structures, then this is absolutely a fantastic way to do it, interlinking only based on the kind of products or the kind of keyword themes or whatever you're actually working on. But if we actually go over to the home page now, what we can see on the home page, guys, is, well, you know what, Tesco.com sell vacuum cleaners, they sell bedroom furnitures, they sell, you know, musical albums, garden furnitures, I don't know, lawn mowers, and even toys for children, and so much more. Now, if we have a look at this website, though, cheap-lcdtv.co.uk, what do we see here? We see it's selling LCD TV, Samsungs, Philips, Goodmans, Hitachi. It's got screens by size. It's got LED TVs, it's got plasma TVs, 3D TVs, smart TVs, TV accessories, home entertainment. Home entertainment's fine. It's complimentary for TVs. You've got clearance items by brand that are big manufacturers of TVs. You've got by screen size. Obviously, you've got a random one here, fridge freezers. Not really sure why they got that there. But, well, you know what? It's not affecting their rankings. They're on the first page of Google, ranking above Amazon, ranking above eBuyer. Now, obviously, having a look at these here as well, guys, you've got Tesco.com, which doesn't specialize in just TVs. You've got Amazon.com, that doesn't specialize in just TVs. You've got eBuyer.com, that doesn't specialize in just TVs as well, guys. So it should be starting to draw a picture for you guys that the website that Google is ranking #1 is the website that they feel is the most related to cheap LCD TVs. And if we go over to the website, it's very apparent and clear on that as well. Now, obviously, this website here, directtvs.co.uk, looking at the domain, then it does tell us, well, you know what, the website's about TVs. Well, let's have a look at this website as well. Now, this has actually got more trust flow than the site ranking on #1. It's got more domain authority than the site ranking on #1, and it's got more page authority than the site ranking on #1. It's got more links, and it's got roughly the same PR. But have a look at the actual on-site factors. Obviously, it hasn't got the on-site factors here in the title, in the heading tags, and in the URL. So that might be one area there as well. But let's actually visit that site to get a better understanding. And now, obviously, the manual aspect needs to be there, guys. So obviously, looking at this website, Direct TVs tells me it's about TVs. But the very first thing I noticed towards the top here, guys, is you've got Direct TVs and you've got Appliances Direct, which obviously leads to another website here. I'm going to click on it. Here we go. Appliances Direct. As you can see, it's the same company. And they've actually gone over to Appliances Direct. Then you've got Laptops Direct, you've got Aircon Direct, you've got Furniture Direct, and then obviously you've got all your televisions, you've got your television accessories, you've got home entertainment systems, and you've actually got things like DAB radios and iPhones and iPods or wireless speakers and that. So it's got a few things that are unrelated. So maybe that's why, well, I'm telling you now, that is why they're not ranking on position #1, because their actual on-site is not as geared and tightly focused as cheap-lcdtvs.co.uk is. Okay, and another thing to take into consideration as well, guys, is actually looking at Direct TVs. They've done a very, very smart job. Now, the smart job that they've done, guys, is if you have a look at this website, they actually own all of these stores. They had a choice of creating the one website with TVs on there, with appliances on there, with laptops on there, air conditionings on there, and furniture on there. But instead, what they ended up doing is creating separate websites for each one so that they can gear their on-site factors, so the whole website theme and everything, to the one product, which was all about TVs, or more or less 80% about TVs. So if they didn't do that, guys, then I promise you they wouldn't be sitting high on page 1 of Google, and they wouldn't be sitting nowhere near Amazon on that, guys, because their website would be geared for TVs and fridge freezers and washing machines and air conditioning appliances, whereas this website here now is geared just for TVs, or more or less for TVs, and that's why they're ranking higher, even though their page authority, domain authority, and trust flow is very low compared to every single one that they're ranking on top of, guys. So who they're ranking on top of, they're still ranking on top of them because of how relative and how tightly grouped their actual website is. And let's have a look at these here as well, index pages as well. You can bet that cheap-lcdtvs.co.uk, okay, it's got 3,510 pages, which is much fewer than all of these down here, but at least 3,300 or 400 of them pages are about TVs. If you have a look at Tesco, guys, okay, it's got 2 million what not you pages, but you're mostly getting about 100 pages about TVs. So when it all, what it all boils down to, guys, is this website, all of these pages more or less are about TVs. It's focusing on TVs, solely on TVs only, and that's one of the reasons why it's ranking as high as it is, even though it's got lower trust flow, lower domain authority, lower page rank than the majority of the sites. Okay, so I'm going to move over to the second example, guys, and all the examples that I've got for you have actually got different factors for them ranking, and I've actually picked these I've actually pre-picked these for this very reason as well. So I'm going to go over and show you examples of my own sites now. 2 sites that are my own. Obviously, none of these sites here are mine, guys. But these, I'm going to show you a site of my own. So I'm going to type in Silo plugin. I'm not looking about how popular the keyword is or anything like that, guys. What I'm looking at is exactly what's happening and what's going on. Okay, so this is actually working here, guys. Let this complete. So this is my website here. It's wpsilos.com. Okay, what I'll do while this is going through, let me just ask you guys a quick question. Is everyone following so far? Is my voice coming in clear? Obviously, I believe you might have some questions towards the very end, which is totally fine. Okay, yes, all good. Yes, all good. All okay. Yes, it's clear. Fantastic. All's good. Brilliant stuff. Again, guys, you know, it is my very first webinar, so I might be a little bit nervous, and I might be taking this by okay, I want to buy Page One Genetics. Fantastic. Well, okay, I'll tell you what, with Page One Genetics, guys, we actually closed that down within 6 days of actually opening it, and we didn't close it down because we had any problems. Okay, I believe you do mean it. Well, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to be sending you out an email later on in the week telling you how to get hold of Page One Genetics, guys. I'm not going to be sending you anything on this call, but I'll tell you exactly how to get on it. Okay, I'm speaking a little bit fast. Somebody saying, I do apologize if I am speaking a bit fast. Oh, there's a block at the bottom right. Okay, the block at the bottom right, is it moving now? Can you see it moving? If it is moving, then it's actually my chat screen. Okay, my Page One Genetics doesn't look like this. Okay, the reason your Page One Genetics doesn't look like this is because you need to restart it and you need to update it. When you start Page One Genetics, it's going to auto-update. When it does auto-update, then you're going to have these features here. Again, guys, you're only going to have these extra additional features. Okay, you're only going to have these extra additional features if you've got the Pro version or the developer version. Okay, fantastic. Okay, guys, I'm minimizing the chat box again because I've got so many comments in here and I can't really concentrate on what's going on. Okay, I'm just going to minimize this chat box and I'm going to continue with what's happening here. Okay, so let's have a look. WP Silos, guys. Let's have a look at the actual Page One ranking results on Google. So these are the top 10 pages that are ranking on the first page of Google for Silo plugin. So again, the first 2 sites that stand out to me, guys, are the only 2 sites that are home pages is wpsilos.com, and then we've got WordPress Silo SEO Authority.com. So they're both home pages. The other ones are all inner pages, and we're going to be finding out exactly what's happening. Let's have a look at WP Silos. It's a very poor site as what the actual metrics tell us about the site. It doesn't even have a trust flow on there. So out of the 182 links that Majestic has, don't forget we actually get the link count from Majestic SEO. So out of the 182 links that Majestic SEO has about WP Silos, it's not able to give it a trust flow. How cool is that metrics? And yet it's still ranking on the first page of Google. I mean, you go type in WordPress Silo plugin, or many of the variations, it's ranking on page 1. And I'm going to tell you why it's ranking that high as well. Obviously, looking up and down at the competition, guys, it's not high, it's not hard competition as well. But still, there must be a reason why it's able to rank higher on the first page of Google, higher than everyone else. When looking at it, it's got the lowest amount of backlinks, it's got the lowest number of index pages, it hasn't even got a trust flow with it, it's got one of the lowest page ranks domain authority other than this one here, and it's got one of the lowest page authorities other than this one here. So really this should be ranking way towards the bottom. So what is it that's actually helping it? So 4 pages, I'm going to actually show you the 4 pages here, guys. Okay, the 4 pages here, it's not even about silos. You've got the free WordPress silo plugin, which obviously is WP Silos. If you have a look towards the bottom, it's the home page. Then you've got cookie policy, privacy policy, and contact us. So there's nothing on this that is actually, helping, really send Google the theme of our silo structure, of our keywords and our keyword theme, other than the actual content on this site. Okay, and obviously I'm linking out to Bruce Clay's blog, one of the authorities in the silos, and I'm linking out to my own website, abbasravji.com, Google-LSI training. So that's a fairly cool link to link out to, and that's a fairly cool link to link out to as well. So obviously these these external links are sending factors to Google as well. So I'll actually go over there so you can see what this is about. Let it just open up. Okay, so there you go, straight away, SEO siloing, and as soon as the robot goes on here, guys, from my website about siloing, it's going onto a website about siloing again, so it's going to keep with the theme, it's going to reassure everything. So it looks good, but obviously, having one external link to an authority site isn't going to work wonders. Obviously, it helps, but it's not going to work wonders and get you to the first page of Google, position 1, when you've got all these other websites out there like Warrior Forum, YouTube, Scratch 99, Semio, Logic, and so many other websites as well. Okay, so anyway, let's continue and let's see what it is. So anyway, it's clear it's got the lowest amount of index pages, got the lowest amount of backlinks, lowest amount of trust flow. Well, it hasn't even got no trust flow, lowest domain authority and page authority. So let's have a look at the actual social aspect. So looking at the social aspect though, guys, I'm sure you can see here, it's clear that this is where this website actually stands out. It's got 971 Facebook likes or shares. It's it's like 900 times better than the majority of the, I don't know how many extra times better than all of these, or has a more social presence on Facebook than all of these. Same with Google Plus. Obviously it's not as good as this website here, but looking up and down here, guys, it's above average. There's only 2 websites. There's this one here and there's this one, and after that it's WP Silos. And then LinkedIn, it's got the best one on LinkedIn. It's got the best social presence on Twitter. It's got nothing on Delicious, but StumbleUpon, it's doing above average, and same as Pinterest as well. So by looking at this as a snapshot, guys, it's very clear to me that, the social aspect and the social influence of this website is really helping this website come past everyone else. Now, obviously, there's some more factors that we can't get from here, which I'm going to be sharing with you now anyway, but because I'm the website owner, I can share this with you, and I know this. So anyway, I use SociSyn to get a lot of my social shares and everything. Now, when it comes to Majestic SEO, when it comes to Open Site Explorer, when it comes to Ahrefs or any other linking, crawler, then they've always found it hard. Well, I've certainly seen that they found it very difficult to find social links. Now, obviously, these here, we're actually getting these link counts by hooking in directly with the Facebook API, the Google API, and the LinkedIn API. We're not getting these counts from Majestic SEO or Moz.com. We actually directly query Facebook to find out what these counts are. They have API methods for us to actually send HTTP queries, post requests, and actually get the details. So what we can't see here, what isn't reflecting on here, is WP Silos has lots of Tumblr posts and Tumblr reblogs. It has loads of Google sites and blogger posts and live journal posts and so much more, which if we have a look at the actual Majestic SEO 182 links, you're not going to really find them there, guys. And the reason you're not going to find them there is because they find it very difficult to actually find them and crawl them. But anyway, that's going to be the same with everyone. So it's very relative. So it's cool to actually work with these figures here. So from here, it's very clear to see that, it's the actual social aspects and the social figures that are getting the website up. You go over to the website, it's keeping with the silo topic and the silo structure and the website architect by going over to 2 websites. One of them was Bruce Clay's blog, and the other one was obviously my website, which actually talks about Google LSI training. And if you actually go over to WP Silos, this also talks about using silo and LSI keywords to actually get everything done. Okay, so I've actually got another example for you as well, guys. Again, as mentioned, guys, we've got thousands of index pages with many of the websites. This has only got 4, but it's ranking high on page 1 of Google. But this time, the reason it's ranking high on the first page of Google is because of its actual social aspect. What does the social aspect and the social popularity tell Google? It actually tells Google, well, you know what? It's got 971 likes coming from Facebook, even though it's Facebook, but there's actually 971 real people behind that. So say, for example, you're getting 10 backlinks from one website. Google realizes, well, you know what, it's the one website, it's the one domain, and behind that one website or one domain, there's only going to be about one user behind there. But when it comes to social sites, Facebook, Twitter, Tumblr, whatever other sites you want to do, guys, or whatever other social sites that Google separately categorize in their own certain algorithm, then they understand that behind all of this, guys, there's actual real people, and with these real people, you're actually getting the vote of the crowd, you know, the vote of actual social and real people. Okay, so the next site that I want to show you guys, I hope you've understood exactly what I'm trying to explain here, guys. A site that's got, you know, only one real page on there, a site that's got the fewest backlinks, it hasn't even got trust flow, the fewest, you know, the lowest domain authority or page authority, and it's ranking high on the first page of Google because of the actual social signals. Now again, of course the backlinks are helping it, of course the external links that we're pointing out to are helping it, and of course there's other factors such as having the keyword in the title and having in the heading tags are all helping it, guys. But that's not the only thing that's helping it, because these have actually got more, these have got more links, these have got more pages and everything. So what's actually really helping it is the social factor. Oh yes, one more thing that I forgot to tell you as well about behavioral patterns. So again, as mentioned to you, you can't really find out about behavioral patterns, how long users are staying on the site for, what the bounce rate is like, until you actually have that website ranking. So when you actually come over to WP Silos, you can see it's got a 27-minute video, guys. So when users come on this, it's an engaging video. Users tend to stick around and watch it. The page converts well as well, so they actually perform an action on this website, which Google can see. So Google's happy with the actual behavioral patterns and signals that the website's sending. It's happy with the social aspect and the people vote behind it, and it's ranking it high above everything else. I mean, obviously one other area that we should be looking at is the actual the competition. So you look at the competition, analyze the competition as well, and see how good your competition is doing to find out how, you know, how you're going to be getting up there. But obviously at the moment we're analyzing our own website, so that's why I'm actually bringing this to your attention. So I'm going to have a look at another keyword, guys. Social media distribution. This is for SociSync, if I can spell it correctly. Distribution. Okay, and I'm going to click on process report. Again, guys, if I do get blocked by Google, then I'll be using and switching to, okay, here we go. It looks like Google's blocked me because it isn't fetching no details. Oh no, fantastic, it was fetching details. Okay, because we actually query Google to get index pages, and we query Google for so much more as well. So anyway, here's SociSync. Keep an eye on SociSync, guys. While it's populating the details, it should be clear enough already that it's got the lowest domain authority, lowest page authority. It's got absolutely horrid trust flow. It's got the lowest backlinks and the lowest number of index links, index pages, and the lowest, one of the lowest page ranks as well. And I'm going to be explaining to you exactly why this is. Again, this has a different factor for why it's actually ranking high on the first page of Google when comparing to the other ones that I've actually just mentioned. So I'm going to have a quick sip of this water, guys, and I'm going to be back with you in a second. Okay, fantastic. Okay, we're nearly done. Okay, we've actually already had some questions about, do you have to have an account on all the social accounts to actually get the likes and whatnot? The question is no, you don't need an account on all the social accounts, guys. If you did have an account on all the social sites, then the only thing that you could do is only have one Facebook like, one Google plus one LinkedIn share, because your own account can only give it one share. So when you're having 327 likes or something like that, guys, then you know that's 327 different users that have actually liked that. So it's very difficult to actually get 327 likes unless you've actually had lots of people come over to it and they've liked it, or unless, you know, you've paid somebody to get it done, or unless you join the crowd with SociSync and you join in and really help you know, increase your social visibility and your social signals using SociSync, where everyone comes together to help one another. Okay, so let's take a look at this, guys. This has got a total different reason. So having a look at this, we've got Wikipedia. I'm not going to even look at that, guys. You know, it's, you know, 100 trust flow, 100 PA. You know, I'm not going to even bother looking at that. We all know why. This website here, I can't really pronounce it, so I'm not gonna try to pronounce it, guys. But as you can see, it's got like 2 million and something pages on there. The trust flow, the page authority, and everything is real cool on this. Now, don't get me wrong, guys. Because I'm showing you websites with poor trust flows and poor domain authority and poor page authority, that doesn't mean they're good factors. Sorry, that doesn't mean they're poor factors to assess how a website ranks for. Actually, what I'm going to do is I'll actually see if I can do another webinar, and I'll actually show you exactly why these factors are very, very important. Obviously, on this video, I'm showing you the opposite angle, whereby, you know what, irregardless of exactly what these factors and these, you know, metrics are, we're still able to get up there, you know, against all odds. So anyway, let's continue with this. So again, guys, two websites stand out to me here. I'm sure you can pick them out. It's onlywire.com and it's socialsyn.com. Both of them home pages. The rest of these websites are all internal pages. So just imagine how powerful, like this one here, it's got internal pages on page rank 5. Just imagine how powerful the home page is. And again, you know, the one area that I'm really missing here is the age of the website. If I had age of the website here, guys, it'll help me explain much better exactly what's going on here. But anyway, let's continue with our analysis. So we've got a number of page ranks here, page rank 5s and 4s and 0s and 1s, and our socialsyn has a page rank 1. Again, I don't even bother with page rank too much now because it hardly ever gets updated anyway. Index pages, guys. So this has the lowest amount of index pages than any other site on here, apart from this website here, gagalamp.com or something, you know. But that's actually got an internal page, which is a PR4, and the actual domain authority is pretty cool on here as well. So anyway, it's got basically one of the lowest amount of index pages in Google. Now the backlink count, it's clear here, guys. It's got the lowest amount of backlinks than every single one of them there. I think the closest one, the next closest one is like 26.2k, and socialsyn is like only on 4.8k. So TrustFlow, the lowest. Domain authority, the lowest. Is it the lowest? Yes, the lowest. And the page authority, the lowest as well, other than this one here, that's actually head-on-head. So it's actually a draw there, mate. See who's got the lowest TrustFlow or the page authority and get onto the first page of Google. Well, you're not going to beat socialsyn, not with the TrustFlow anyway. Okay, so let's have a look and see exactly why this is, guys. So it's clear that it's not the actual on-site factors. Having a look at the on-site factors, you know, social media distribution, we're not using it in the title, we're not using it in the URL, we're not using it in the heading tags. None of these other sites are actually using it in the heading tags as well. So let's move on and have a look at some of the social aspects as well. Okay, now it comes down to the social aspects again, guys. So it's clear here socialsyn is above average. It's doing much better than everyone else. But this isn't the only reason. So continue with me, guys, and I promise to actually show you exactly why that is. Okay, so 327 likes, got more likes than everyone else. 310 Google Plus ones. It's got the second most Google Plus ones after this. LinkedIn shares, it's got the second or third most LinkedIn shares. Twitter to retweets and whatever, it's got the most there, the most delicious ones there as well, most stumble upon ones there, and most Pinterest ones there as well. So it's clear it's actually leading the way in when it comes to social a social influence and social aspect as well. So okay, it's got 850 pages, guys. So again, one of the areas that I showed you on the last analysis was, well, you know what, it's very important that we have a look at our actual websites as well. So I'm not going to go over and click onto these websites because I'm sure many of you already know of these. So let's have a look at the ones that socialsyn is actually outranking. We've got Mashable.com, guys. Obviously 515,000 index pages. Now we all know that not all of them are going to be about social media distribution or social media syndication, whereas with socialsyn, guys, 850 pages, or let's just say 840 or 30 of them pages are going to be about social media distribution, social media marketing, social media syndication, content distribution, and whatnot you as well. Everything related and revolving around our main keyword. Okay, so let's have a look at, obviously, Mashable, we've already went past. This website as well, guys, top rank blog. It's not all going to be about social media distribution. You know, it's got a million amount of backlinks on there. It's got a huge page authority. You know, Mashable is going to be talking about retargeting, and it's going to be talking about all sorts of marketing and analytics, and the same with the majority of these sites here as well. Now, there is obviously one site that does really stand out to me, guys, which is obviously OnlyWire. Now, I'm sure you've picked up on this as well. Now, OnlyWire is one of our competitors. So you might be thinking, well, hang on, you know, OnlyWire's got a page rank 5, socialsyn's got a page rank 1. OnlyWire's got 39,200 pages indexed, and socialsyn's got 850. OnlyWire's got, I don't know, 150 times more backlinks than socialsyn. It's got much better TrustFlow. It's got a much better domain authority and page authority. So why, in fact, is OnlyWire not ranking higher than socialsyn if it's also targeting the same kind, if it's basically exactly the same kind of site? Okay, so For this, guys, we're going to need a deeper analysis, okay, and I'm going to take you over to a report generation tab. It's just so much easier for me. Okay, what I'll do, I'll go over to the report generation tab, and I'll type in www.onlywire.com, and what I'll do, I'll just quickly generate a quick report. While this is generating, I'm going to talk you through exactly what we're doing. With the full analysis report, guys, I'm able to find out and drill down much deeper, find out what the actual backlinks are like and the anchor text is like, what the on-site factors are like, in much more detail, and it's going to be very quick. It only takes about less than a minute to generate this report, so it's still generating the report. So here we go, fantastic. I'm just hoping these tools do work on me. So I'm going over to my desktop, guys, and I'm opening up the OnlyWire report. So this is a report that we've just generated through Page One Genetics on OnlyWire. Okay, so I'm not going to look at these factors. We already know these factors here. I don't really care about if it's got any HTML validation errors or any warnings. They're very minor factors, guys. You know, something that I'm not really bothered about. But let's have a look at this. Obviously, your title is one of the most important areas. And look at their title. They've got OnlyWire. They could have had that at the end, but it's up to them. It's their own branding. And they've got automated social bookmarking. Nothing to do with social media distribution, content syndication, marketing, or anything like that. And if you have a look at the description, we've got OnlyWire is a fast, secure automation tool to submit content to the top social media networks like Facebook, Twitter, Google+, and use OnlyWire for whatever. You've got keywords, really don't get even taken into account these days. And then obviously you've got your headings. And look at the headings. It's got only one heading on here, which says Networks X. Really not being used and utilized for the right reasons to send the right signals. Okay, let's have a look at the internal links as well. So these are the internal links, and these are the keywords that they're using to link internally: payment policy, terms of service, my account, affiliate program. They've only got one real cool one on here, social networks. But again, this is only a minor factor again, guys, unless you've got a huge website. And obviously by looking at OnlyWire, then, well, you know what, they've got quite a few pages on their website. But obviously that's supposed to be on a blog area as well. Sorry. Okay, so words in bold. Let's forget about the words in bold. Let's go straight over to the content theme. Now, the content theme, what that does, it takes the website's content, it removes lots and lots of words from the website that can't be semantically related, and it orders the words by importance and most relevant to the website, and it tells us here. So really, we're looking for things related to what the website does. So networks, social, OnlyWire, account, content. Fantastic. You know, it's got brilliant stuff coming in here. 2 words here: social media, social community, social networks. It's sending the right signals. Obviously 3 words, you know, credit card information, free, no payment required, Facebook, Twitter, Google+. So maybe it can be done with a little bit of work, but you know what? It's optimized enough, and it's sending just about the right signals that it needs to be sending. So let's continue to go over to some analysis. Now let's have a look at some of the offsite factors. So obviously we've got anchor text here. These are the top 10 anchor texts used. Let's have a look at this. We're going to be comparing this to the SociSync one, guys, and I'm going to be showing you why SociSync outranks it. So we've got empty anchor text, we've got OnlyWire, so empty anchor text is basically nothing was used as the anchor text. Okay, so it might be like an image or something, you know. Okay, so you've got bookmark and share, this article, save to OnlyWire, add to OnlyWire, add this article. Okay, what I'm going to do, I'm going to actually pull up a report on here for SociSync while I take you through the report, just to save us some time as well. So I'm going to click on generate report while that's going. Okay, so these are the actual anchor text used, guys. So you can see here what kind of signals this is sending over, and again, like I mentioned to you, your on-site and off-site really needs to work in harmony with one another to really send over them right signals. So I'm just waiting for this to finish here, guys, so I can compare this and show you a comparison with SociSync, and then you should be able to see really exactly why SociSync is ranking higher. Okay, so 5, and it's done. Okay, I'll do SSR, so SociSync report. I'll go over to my desktop again, and it's over here. Okay, so this is SociSync, guys. I'm not going to look at all these factors again, guys. Let's have a look at the title, though. So the title is Social Media Marketing, Content Distribution, and Syndication Management Services at Affordable Rates. Of course, you know, maybe the affordable rates or whatever can be used, or maybe I just try to make a sentence using all of my keywords and try to make some sense out of it. But what you can see here, it's got very related, and it's got a very highly optimized title in here, guys. which is fantastic, and that's really working for us. Okay, in the description as well, we've got market and distribute your content to thousands of unique social media sites. Get social signals, links, and build a buzz around your content today. So again, very highly optimized. Comparing this to OnlyWire, guys, is clear to see. It's much more. Our website is much more optimized for our keyword that we want to rank for. And obviously, it should be clear here that OnlyWire isn't really trying to rank for social media distribution, but I'm going to be getting onto that in a moment as well. So headings as well, guys. You've got heading 1, you've got heading 2. We've only got 2 headings on SocialSyn. I can update the site. I can make it much better. I find myself very busy to even go back onto the site to actually make it better, but it's something that I should be focusing on, and I should be practicing basically what I'm preaching. So anyway, so you've got heading 1, so you've got social media content distribution and marketing, sending the right kind of signals, using our heading tag in its best optimized fashion, and obviously heading 2, social media marketing. Again, sending good signals. Now let's get on to the actual content theme, which we spoke about. Okay, let's have a look at the internal links. Again, we don't have as many internal links as OnlyWire. OnlyWire's got more. We've got 13 on here. OnlyWire had 16. Okay, and with SocialSyn, we've got a few FAQ, pricing, product tour, testimonials, contact us, but then we've got things like social media training, social signals, and SEO. Well, they're the only 2 really on there that are vaguely based around our content theme. Okay, let's forget everything else and let's go over to content theme. So we've got single keyword, social, Google, SocialSyn, signals, media, search, site, visitors, click, bounce. Fantastic. I'm very happy with that. 2 words, social media, social signals, bounce rate. Fantastic. 3 words, search engine rankings, Google search and click, high authority social. Fantastic. But you know what? Really, having a look at OnlyWire and having a look at this site, there's not too much of a difference there. Let's have a look at the offsite factors now. Okay, let's have a look at the total. Let's have a look at the top 10 anchor text used for these backlinks. We've got social media training. We've got social media marketing, content syndication, social media video, socialsyn.com, social media distribution. There's our keyword right there, guys. Okay, so the reason SocialSyn is ranking higher on page 1 of Google than actually OnlyWire, it's because if you have a look at the website, it's fully optimized around this keyword. Maybe not the keyword itself. We're not using it in the title. We're not using it in the URL or the heading tags, but it's fully optimized around our keyword theme. Now, obviously, if you saw our keyword genetic software, guys, then I'll talk much more about a keyword theme in there, and I talk about the reasons and the importance of using your LSI keywords and using related keywords in your actual content, and that's exactly what SocialSyn is doing here, and it's able to rank for social media distribution, even though the actual factors on the on-site don't have it fully optimized for the one keyword alone, but around the keyword theme. So the reason SocialSyn is ranking, guys, is not because of its trust flow, it's not because of domain authority, it's not because of the page authority, it's actually because of a number of factors. One of the factors, obviously, or a number of the factors are because it's got 4,800 links or whatever, but of course it's not the only factor. But another one of the factors, or one of the bigger factors, is because it's got a big social media presence. And then when you dig down a little bit deeper and have a look at these backlinks and have a look at how the trust flow and everything got together, what you'll come to realize, guys, is on the actual anchor text as well, it's actually complementing the on-site factors. So when I mentioned earlier in the presentation, guys, where our actual on-site factors and our off-site factors need to work with one another, guys, then that's exactly what the SocialSyn site's doing. It's got the off-site factors working with the on-site factors, and obviously that's what's giving our website that page 1 ranking higher than other websites that should really be ranking higher than SocialSyn. But again, it's clear to see that, you know what, even though it's got fewer backlinks and fewer domain authority and page rank and trust flow, and maybe the website age is much lower and much younger than all of these here, but this website, socialsyn.com, is optimized for the keyword social media distribution. 850 pages it's got. About 820 of them pages are going to be revolving around social media distribution, content marketing, syndication, and everything, whereas the other websites here, guys, are not, it's not going to be that case. So what Google has done, they've realized, well, you know what, this website, it's sending out, no matter what page I go to in this website, so socialsyn.com, it's sending me the signals, and it's using the kind of keywords that are needed for this to be ranking for social media distribution, whereas these websites aren't the case. And if you do actually look at OnlyWire, let's open up OnlyWire's report here again, guys. What you can see from OnlyWire, they're actually looking to rank for things like bookmarking, automated bookmarking. So yes, you know what, they do have much more authority. Obviously, you know what, Mashable and all these other websites have much more authority than us, than SocialSync. But just remember, if you're going to be creating a website that's very unique, that's very niche, relevant around the one content and around the one subject, guys, then you do have that chance to get onto the first page of Google. And a very good example, guys, should have been our very first example, which was cheap LCD TVs, where I showed you how directtvs.com themselves sell much more and many more products than just TVs themselves, and how they've actually separated their websites and created separate websites, niche relevant websites, as opposed to the one big huge website selling lots of products like maybe Amazon.com, because they knew they weren't going to stand a chance with companies like Amazon.com or eBay.com or I don't know, whatever other websites you got. Instead, they went down the specific niche related and very targeted route and managed to go onto the first page of Google with much less content, with much less work, much less authority, and many more other factors as well. So the thing to take away from this, guys, is if you are looking to target and if you are looking to find out what's going to be needed on the first page or to rank on the first page of Google, go to Google. If you've got page one genetics, fantastic. If you haven't got page one genetics, guys, then please don't ask me about page one genetics on this call. Instead, what I'll do, I'll actually email you and tell you exactly how to get it. And again, you know, I did promise all of our users that we were only going to do a 6-day special, but I'm going to see what I can come up with now, because, you know, many of you guys have already mentioned how badly you want it. So anyway, the first thing you want to do, guys, is go over to Google, search your keyword, have a look at the website, see if they're internal pages, see if they're home pages, find out exactly what kind of pages are actually ranking for this, find out the site as well. And again, guys, it's very important to understand the number of pages you have on your site is very important as well, even though WP Silos only had 4 pages and really contradicts that. But yes, it is very important. It does hold a ranking factor in Google. Obviously, backlink counts hold a ranking factor, very important. We're leveraging over the authority. And now when it comes over to trust flow, domain authority, and page authority, guys, then you know what, if I was to go out there and buy an expired domain, then the SocialSync domain, I wouldn't touch it. And I'm not going to lie to you, and I wouldn't touch it because of the trust flow. Now, that's because, you know, I wouldn't want to take the risk of it. But obviously, because I hold SocialSync and I own it, I know the history behind SocialSync as well. And I also know that it has been spammed to death by our competition. But obviously, all of our other factors are really keeping it high up there. And I don't have time to go away and, you know, really clean up the site and bring up that trust flow. Maybe something I can work on, and you know, maybe I can do a case study and show you exactly how I managed to bring up the trust flow of SocialSync. Maybe that's for another video. But yes, guys, so what we can take away from this, guys, is even though you might see some huge authority sites out there on the first page of Google, then don't let that put you off, guys. It's very easy to get onto the first page of Google. Just understand the ranking factors, understand it a little bit more, guys. Have a look. You know, if the websites aren't performing as good in social media, try and perform, you know, try and base yours heavy on social media and see if that helps as well. Of course, there's a number of other things that you can take away from this as well. Is if, for example, with page one genetics, I mean, if, for example, you was typing in social media distribution, you were trying to rank for this, it should be clear on here to see, well, you know what, for social media distribution, the most active website that I should be using, well, you know, you should be using all of them. But the most, I think I done an example of acne treatment or something. Let's just type acne treatment. And all these websites, you know, that come up, it was clear that, you know what, there was only like, I think it was Pinterest or something, that was the most popular site. So if you was going to be targeting acne treatment from page one genetics, it was going to be clear to know that, you know what, if you are going to be playing an active role on these social sites, then really you want to be playing an active role on, say, Facebook or Twitter or whatever site stood out the most from what these top 10 sites were actually ranking for. So again, guys, it's very simple to know what to do. Again, it does take some time. Of course, I'm not going to turn around and say, well, you know what, you can get up there with only 1 backlink or 2 backlink. No, there are methods that you can take to actually, you know, increase the speed of how it's going to take you to get up there, and that's when we get into expired domains as well. And that's the whole reason why in this presentation I actually kept it as a different factor, because I actually want to do a whole different presentation on that by itself. So anyway, this is the end of the webinar, guys. I hope you've enjoyed it. Again, it's the first time that I've actually ever presented, so I'm very sorry if I wasn't as polished up as webinar presenters that you're actually used to. But I did promise to have some content fully packed in here for you today and to show you exactly how websites are ranking in a different way, which I hope you haven't heard before, and I hope it's really cleared up things for you. So what we can do now is look at some questions. Now I've got a chat box here, guys. Oh, fantastic. We've already got some brilliant comments coming in. That's fantastic. I'm going to open up this chat box. So if you see some blurry things on the screen, guys, then it's because I'm maximizing this chat box. Okay, so I've got a question here, Abbas. For someone new, this is a question by Way. Okay, so Abbas, for someone new, if you have a new website, how do you get the backlinks and social signals? Well, I'm not going to lie to you. You know, when you got a brand new website, it's very hard for you to get your foot through the door. The best thing to do, obviously, if you want to keep it fully white hat, is to create some engaging content, fantastic content, what people will want to link to themselves naturally. Of course, if that's not what you want to do and you want to give yourself, you know, a flying start, then what you can do is use services like SocialSync, you know, a very natural technique that uses social media websites to get you links to your to your actual website and give you that boost in buzz to get your content going out there. And don't forget to keep increasing and adding more content to your website, because more content you're getting out there, more pages are getting indexed. Syndicate the content to your own social media properties as well, guys, all of which is very, very important. Okay, would this also work for videos? Well, videos, guys, it's a whole topic by itself, and if you're not aware, then we're actually working on a video tool at the moment, guys, that creates videos, uploads videos, does your video research for you, and it actually gets your videos ranked. It gets you embeds and it gets you backlinks as well, and we're actually in need of about 100 beta testers for this, and I'm hoping to send you out an email this week making more notes on that. And of course, if you've actually been part of our beta you know, of any of our softwares, guys, then I promise you, you know, they actually go through thorough testing first before we even bring it out to betas. Okay, brilliant. We've already got some in here saying, you know, they're all ready for betas. Again, guys, I'm going to be sending out an email making notes on this fully. Okay, so let's just, if I'm a bit silent, guys, I'm actually reading through all these questions. We've got so many comments coming in. It's unbelievable, so it's kind of overwhelming, to be honest. Okay, and we've got hundreds of people on this call as well, guys, and it looks like you're all sticking around. So I believe you're all wanting some of your questions answered. So if I go a bit silent, guys, I'm reading questions and trying to get some thoughts together. Okay, I've got a question here saying, I have a silo software, both paid and free, and was under the impression that silos were no longer good. Footprint of optimization. Well, what footprint? You know, what is a silo structure? A silo structure is basically you categorizing your content in proper categories. So say, for example, you've got a topic about LCD TVs. Instead of talking about plasma TVs in your LCD TV category, you're talking about LCD TVs and only LCD TVs. So when you're talking about silo structures, guys, then one thing to understand about this is that, you know what, it's the best and the most optimum structure that a website can have. And this is especially true for websites that have hundreds and hundreds of pages. If your website's, you know, only has a few pages, then you don't really need to worry about categorizing it properly. But if your website is a large website, then the silo website is you know, the best structure that you can have. And you know, leaving a footprint, what footprint? You know, a footprint of your own website or footprint of you adding content to your own site. It doesn't really make sense to me there, Keith. But no, you're not leaving any footprints. It's your website. You're using the structure on your website. You've got nothing to worry about. Okay, what's the best and easiest way to increase trust rank? Okay, trust rank, let me just take you over to Open Site Explorer. Oops, let me minimize this here. Okay, I believe you're talking about trust flow. If you're talking about trust flow, guys, then what trust flow does is basically, okay, I'm going to explain trust flow and citation flow. Citation flow, if you have a look at PageWin Genetics, we didn't actually include citation flow, because what citation flow, I can't bring it up now, can I? Okay, here it is. Okay, what citation flow does, guys, it basically tells you, you know, how many citations of your backlinks have you got, you know, how many backlinks have you got, the ratio of backlinks that you've actually got. So we've actually got the backlink count. And then next to the backlink count, we've got the trust flow. And the trust flow tells you how authoritative them pages are. I mean, if you have a look at Moz's Moz Rank, I think it is, and what they look at is things like how deep is a backlink? So is the backlink that you're receiving from a homepage? Is the backlink that you're receiving from an inner page? Is the backlink that you're receiving from university sites or governmental sites or whatnot? So really, to increase your trust flow, to increase your Moz rank as well, guys, it would be sourcing authority backlinks from authority domains. Okay, I've got a question here saying, Abbas, please can you tell us what plugins we should use for WordPress? Tony, thanks for that question. What I'm going to do though, I've actually got, I think, a few months back, we actually put a PDF together giving you the top free 100 WordPress plugins that you can use, and you're going to accomplish so much from there, guys, and it's totally free. And I'll see if I can put that together and get that sent out to you this week, if not early next week. Okay, Pete, do you do site reviews? If so, how much, please? Pete, if you got a site that you want reviewed, feel free to email that into us, and we'll actually see if if it's a brilliant site to do a review on. I'll see if I can cover it in another upcoming webinar or something. Okay. Okay, using SociSend, what rate do you recommend adding social signals and how many per day? Also, is there a ratio we should use that seems natural, i.e. how many likes versus how many tweets versus Google plus ones, etc. Okay, when it comes to SociSend and when it comes to social media, guys, I would really prefer to talk about that on a video, maybe just for SociSend users, because I know we've got so many users on here that aren't SociSend users. But just to let you know, what you can do with SociSend is open up a campaign and tell the system that, you know what, you want 100 links from each one of the social sites that actually that the software supports. But what you want at the same time is to have them drip fed to your content at the rate of maybe 1 a day or 2 a day, so that you can really keep everything consistent and continue going through. Okay, so hopefully I'll be able to cover that later on, guys. Okay. Dennis saying, how do we get beyond the first page of your website, abbasravji.com? Dennis, the website abbasravji.com, I actually registered the website just because we didn't want anyone else to take the domain. I know the website's not fully optimized and it's got some real bad navigational and internal linking structure on there as well. Send us an email and we'll help you out with any issues that you have. Okay. Okay, sorry to repeat this, Abbas. This is Tony. But will we be getting the updates to Page One Genetics as you mentioned earlier in the Webby? Tony, they're already out. It's already been updated. We actually updated the software, and my developers were too fast for me, to be honest. They updated with exactly what I told them to. I think last week I've been fairly busy, guys, so I wasn't able to send out any emails or anything like that. But yes, it's actually been updated. What you need to do, though, Tony, and one thing that I haven't showed in here, is you need to go over to your settings tab. Inside of your settings tab, you need to enter your Moz key API free of charge. Just go over to moz.com. Register an account, and then you can enter your details in there. Okay, and then you can work with it. You just need to update it. Okay, thank you very much, Mindy. I hope I'm actually pronouncing that right. Mindy's left a very fantastic quote here. She's actually wrote, Abbas, seriously, thank you for this webinar. You are one of the few people who I trust. Whenever you build a product, I trust your experience. It's amazing that you are coaching, mentoring on this call like this. Incredible. Thank you very much, Mindy. I must admit that I was very nervous towards the start of the call, but I have managed to get my nerves together and continue and take it on. Okay, let's have a look. I'm just going through some more questions here, guys. Okay, I've actually got a note here from Hussein, so I'm going to read this out as well. Question, an important factor of SEO is backlinks. Many SEO service providers purchase backlinks where some provide a footprint a fingerprint proof service coming from private networks. They claim that within generating reports through backlink research, these links do not show up. If this is the case, are these factors not taken into consideration for certain websites that stand on SERPs and lower domain authority, trust flow, page authority in addition. I didn't quite get that question. I believe I'm going to have to go over that question one more time. What I'm going to be doing anyway, guys, if I don't get over to your question or if I can't answer your question, don't worry, I'm going to try my best to actually save this chat and actually cover all of these questions in maybe an email, put them on the website or put them on the forum so you can actually go over there and get them done. Okay. Okay, also, you're going to open up Bookmark Lovers. Claude, with Bookmark Lovers, I'm not going to lie to you, one of the biggest mistakes that we made with Bookmark Lovers was that we opened it up and charged a one-time fee. Continuing with the Bookmark Lovers website with the way that it's going, it's not financially it's not a good decision for us. Of course, all of our Bookmark Lovers are going to continue to work with Bookmark Lovers, and you can continue to work with it free of charge or for the one-time fee that you've made. We're going to continue to update the product as well, but looking forward, when we do actually release the new product, guys, then it might be an annual fee or it might be a monthly payment. So we're not looking to open up Bookmark Lovers just yet because we've got lots of updates coming to that at the moment. Oh, fantastic. Ari's saying, no way, you presented like a seasoned pro. Thank you very much, Ari. That means a lot. Okay, Evan, we would like to buy Page One Genetics. Evan, again, I'm going to be sending out an email to everyone later on this week telling you exactly how to get it. Okay, I've got a message here from Sergio saying, please keep doing these kind of webinars. I'm pretty tired of product pitched webinars. I learned more today in your webinar than probably all other webinars I've attended during this year. Thank you. So thank you very much, Sergio. Now, I must mention to you, if somebody does pitch a product when they are on a webinar, guys, then they're only going to pitch a product that they believe is going to be very, very, it fits in with the webinar and it's going to be important for you guys. So if I ever was to pitch a product on a webinar, guys, then I would only ever pitch a product that I believe is going to be important for you and obviously justifying everything for you on the webinar. Okay. Okay, when would Keyword Genetics be offered again? I really need it. We're hoping to open it soon. Keep an eye on the email. I'm hoping to put something together for all of our users this week, and I'm going to see what I can do. Okay, Tony's saying, if we have Bookmark Lovers, will we be updated for any new versions that are being released? I hope so. If not, I can certainly promise anything that you currently have will continue to work. Thanks, Pierre. Pierre saying, you're always a man of your word, honest and to the point, trustworthy. Thanks. Okay, ditto to Sergio. Mindy said that. Thank you very much, Mindy, as well. Ari's also said, I agree. Here, said Malcolm. Fantastic stuff, Malcolm. Okay, so CTA, if that's your name, I'm not sure, is saying, so all of your social signals were generated from using SocialSynth. No, that isn't the case. That isn't the case. I've used SocialSynth, and I continue to use SocialSynth. And to be honest with you guys, I hardly use getting Facebook likes or Google Plus ones, or all the other things that the majority of our SocialSynth users like to get. I tend to use it for Tumblr and Twitter, normal posts from Twitter and Facebook, and Google Sites and Blogger and LiveJournal posts, as opposed to the actual links. I can actually show you my SocialSynth account to see if we've actually got any active ones in there, and I'm sure you'll actually be surprised. Oops. Okay, I've actually got this chat box here, and somehow it overtakes everything on here. And what you'll notice from here, this is actually my SocialSynth account. You can see I use it on a daily basis, guys. I've had 263 posts yesterday, 84,247 in total. I'm going to move this down here. Let's have a look at my post, my actual my likes and Twitter tweets and retweets. And as you can see, guys, the only one that I've got open is Pinterest. I don't, these are from very old. I don't even use likes and retweets and whatnot. I like to try and build them up naturally, but I certainly use, as you can see from here, I certainly get links from SocialSynth, but I'd like to get my Tumblr links and my blog posts and whatnot as well. Okay, Al Thomas is saying, how do I create hundreds of pages? Al, if you're going to create spammy pages, pages that aren't going to have any value, again, I mentioned to you the behavioral pattern. You might find your website ranked on the first page of Google, but as soon as Google sees the bounce, the number of bounces and your bounce rate and everything, you're going to find yourself getting slapped and sent all the way back, back down the search engines. So if you want to create hundreds of pages, I wouldn't say look at it as if it's something very hard to achieve. Instead, what I'll say is create 1 or 2 pages on a daily basis, and I promise you your traffic will increase and you will start to get the results. Okay. Okay, Wei is saying it would be good to have a webinar that walks you through getting the right age domain and how to build the backlinks and social signals to get to page 1. Okay, Wei, one thing that I've really slacked on is that I did promise a number of case studies for expired domains, and that was a whole reason why I actually sent out that introduction video showing you what expired domains are, how we can leverage the actual age of them expired domains as well, and to be honest with you, I purchased a number of expired domains. I haven't managed to do a lot with them, but I'm actually bringing somebody onto our team that's going to be performing all of our case studies for me based on me telling them what to do, and then I'll be showing you exactly how to do everything and really showing you the kind of power expired domains have. And trust me, they have so much power, guys, and it's so easy to do. Once you know how to do it, I think you're going to do it all the time. Okay, let's have a look. Okay, yes, bro, you rock. Thank you, Abs. You have the best support team. Tell them thank you as well. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, okay, will previous owners of Bookmark Lovers get future updates? Yes, you will get future updates. I can't promise additional features to be added, but I can promise you that features that are currently working for you will continue to work. Okay, I'm sorry if I've gone quiet. I'm actually reading through all this here. Okay, we've got another comment in here as well saying, Abs, this is the best webinar relating to the methods of website research and how to analyze a website. You have been educationally amazing and have taken rich content and experience from you. Please keep up doing more webinars like this and like these. Thank you very much. I really appreciate your comments. Okay, SocialSyn basic campaigns is 2 URLs only. I'm really not sure, Pierre, but if you are looking to go for SocialSyn, don't buy it from socialsyn.com. We've actually got a special offer on the Warrior Forum whereby you can get a $1 3-day trial. So all you have to do is in Google, just type in SocialSyn, look for the Warrior Forum listing. You can see about 13 to 14 pages full of users' reviews on there as well. So read the reviews before you buy, and at the same time you get a $1 3-day trial. How to set up proxies. Linda, I'm not entirely sure what you mean by how to set up proxies. What I do, I actually buy my proxies, paid for private proxies, and then all I do is actually provide my IP, and then it gets authenticated by IP, and I can use them that way. Okay, you've got another comment in here. Abs, you have provided a top webinar. I now have a understanding in what it takes to rank a website with important factors. This is amazing stuff, and thank you very much for that as well. Okay, anything in the works to create traffic for sites not ranking in the top 10 pages of Google? John, we've always got things in the works down here. I'm not sure if you know, but we've actually got, we've got about 30 tools that we've created, but we haven't released. And the reason we didn't release them because I didn't believe that they were the kind of tools that I would like our users to be using. But yes, we do have a number of tools in the pipeline. And again, as mentioned to you, our very latest tool that we've actually got in the pipeline at the moment, is a tool that's going to be creating videos. It allows you to upload videos, it allows you to do the video research, and it allows you to get embeds and links for them videos and really gets them videos ranked. Emails going to be coming out because I need all of your help, guys, to actually help me beta test this and really take it to the kind of standard that we'd want to be using it on a daily basis. Okay, is Rebel Mouse powerful for ranking? Keith, I love Rebel Mouse. Since I've actually used it, I find it excellent. I've actually given it, I think it's my YouTube feed, I think my Facebook feed, and I've also given it some Facebook tags, and I still get posts on a daily basis from Rebel Mouse, making me aware that, you know, one of my new YouTube videos that I had posted on YouTube has automatically been syndicated to Rebel Mouse and whatnot. So yeah, I think it's real great. Al Thomas, thanks Abs. How did you create the 850 pages for SocialSync? Well, let me show you. Okay, what I'll do, I'll go over to socialsync.com/blog. And if you have a look at this content, the website's horrible, guys. I know it's horrible. I'm going to actually minimize this here. Put this aside. Okay, and this website is absolutely horrible. Look at it, guys. You can see that I haven't spent any... Look at that. It's even got a sample page on there as well. You know, how silly is that? And it's still got the sample content on here as well. But if you have a look at this website, it's got hundreds and hundreds of pages inside of here, all around social media marketing, social media content distribution, and social media syndication. Now, how did we actually create this, guys? Then we actually, when we release SocialSync, we provide a service whereby we will drip feed one article per day to your blog for, I think, 100 days. And if you want that, guys, get in contact with us, send us an email, and we'll do it for you as well. Okay, Claude is saying, I really love Wine Niche, I believe it is, and I'm going to purchase this product. Just keep in mind, Claude, Wine Niche, the free version will allow you to automatically work with your WP Notes plugin anyway. So if it's only for WP Notes, then you only need the free one. But if you are going to be using it to add answers onto Yahoo Answers, then just be careful and be sure that you're not spamming Yahoo Answers. Thank you, FOMA. We're certainly going to be sending out an email about it, and you're all going to be knowing about it as well. Okay, can you do a tutorial like this on Rebel Mouse? We've actually got a video tutorial on Rebel Mouse, Keith. Keith, I'm not sure if it's on my website. I'm going to have to find it. I don't think we have a lot of time at the moment. Let's see how many users we've still got online. Oh, okay. It looks like we've still got hundreds of users online, guys. Oops, where's the text box gone? Oh, I've lost the chat box here, guys, so I don't know. Oh, here it is. I'm really sorry because I've never used GoToWebinar before, and I don't have a clue how to use this. Okay, no, it's not a Rebel Mouse. If that's what I said, I'm sorry. It's a Rebel Mouse. So sorry about that, Pete. It's actually Rebel Mouse. But yes, okay, what I'll do, what I'm going to do, I'm going to save this transcript. Well, I'm going to save all these questions, and I'm going to be going through this with Scott. Scott's one of our assistants. I think he's our head of support as well. He proofs my emails. He does so much for us. He's actually in Japan. He's from America though, but he's not on us with this call. He's normally my tech guy, and I'd really love to have him on call so he can actually help me read out some of these questions. Okay, Sam, with the Warrior Forum offer that shows only 3,000 links a month compared to 8,000 on the SocialSync site, then just scroll down to the second post underneath the reviews on the Warrior Forum listing, and you'll actually see a clarification board, or you'll actually see a note where I clarify it, how it actually works, and it's based on you having accounts and you making submissions, and you'll get the entire submissions as well. And in fact, Sam, we've actually included some more abilities into SocialSync. We now have the ability for users to add their own groups. What this means is that you can actually add more than one of each social account, and if you do, you can get much more than them 8,000 social signals and links that we actually note on there. Okay, can you use RSS feeds in SocialSync? Yes, CTA, you can use RSS feeds in SocialSync. There's two ways you can actually use RSS feeds in SocialSync. You can enter your RSS feed and you can import all of the posts and put them into the software so that they're ready for promotion. Alternatively, you can enter your RSS feed into SocialSync, and each time you have a new post, already, say for example it's your WordPress RSS feed, each time you make a post onto WordPress, SocialSync will automatically pick up on that and start promoting your content automatically. Okay, so what I'm going to do, oh, we've got lots of questions still pouring in. Okay, let's have a look. Okay, how many hours per day does your VA spend on SocialSync per theme? I'm not sure I totally understand that question, Al, but we don't spend hours a day on SocialSync. We automate things up. We mostly spend about 2 hours to, set things up, and then after that, we don't do nothing. You know, if we did spend hours a day on SocialSync, how are we going to be able to continue and develop with other things? So 2 hours a day, spending 2 hours a day on any site, guys, to be honest with you, is taking out a large chunk of your time out of your day. So if that's what you're doing, you really need to try your best to, you know, automate and scale up a bit better. Okay, Denise is saying you gave us more in your presentation for the graphic. So what does Google look at when ranking a site? Than we've gotten from hundreds of other webinars. It is so good to understand the whole picture now. Thank you, Abbas. Oh, thank you, Dennis. I thought you were actually asking a question there. If you was asking a question, then I'm sorry I didn't get to understand what that question was. But I hope the webinar has helped and clear up the picture as well. Okay, how many websites and how much content could SocialSync feasibly support? Well, that's the big question here. What the thing that I would advise you to do, guys, or anyone to do, is when you're looking at buying SocialSync, have a look at the various packages. We've got the Lite package and we've got the Pro package. The Pro package allows you to have 8 campaigns, and in each campaign it allows you to have 8 posts in there. So I think that's like 864 or something. Let me just get the calculator out. I never was very good with my maths. Okay, fantastic, 64. So I was correct. It's a squared number anyway, so it should have been fairly easy. Okay, so you're allowed to have up to about 64 posts at any one time, but just remember, if you are going to have 64 posts in the system, then that 8,000 links you're getting on a monthly basis is going to be divided between them posts. So what you might be advisable, if you do want to send more power to certain sites, is to use up only maybe use up 2 or 3 of the posts and 2 or 3 of the campaigns as using them all. Okay, what are the top 3 tools you offer for SEO? Well, that's a very hard one, Al. I don't want to go into that at the moment as well. But if you are basing it on the webinar, guys, then the best tools that we can offer based on the webinar, based on analysis, based on analyzing what your content is of course page 1 genetics and keyword genetics as well. Other than that, SocialSync is one of our best and top selling tools at the moment. And we're actually going to come to its first anniversary next month or in a couple of months' time, because we released it in July last year. But again, that was in beta testing for like about over 9-10 months. So that's been around for quite long. Okay, Denise is saying, I didn't buy page 1 genetics because I didn't see what to do with the info presented. I wish I had seen the webinar before that decision. Denise, don't worry. I'm going to put something together for you guys. And for our page 1 genetics users, don't worry. I'm not going to undercut you or anything like that. I promise I'm going to try my best to make it very, very fair. Okay, when will the recording be ready? You know what I'm going to do now, Denise? I'm going to, oh, sorry, Linda. Sorry about that. I'm going to actually stop this recording. So if I stop the recording, then it can actually have time to prepare the video as well, because obviously it's using the GoToWebinar platform. So if you guys are all okay with this, we still have hundreds on the line at the moment, guys. So I'm not sure if you still have some more questions you want me to go through, or maybe there's some questions right towards the top of this chat box. Okay, yes, we've got lots of questions, but I think these are all like 2s and yeses and okay, fantastic. Okay, brilliant. I think we're done here then. Oh no, we're still getting. Oops, here we go. We've got another. We're getting comments coming in here, guys, and they're coming in like 5 at a time. So I don't know if it's my broadband connection or if it's something else. But yeah, they're coming in like 5 at a time, so it's fairly difficult to actually read them. Okay, replay, Craig, replay, I'm hoping it's going to come. As long as GoToWebinar doesn't mess up on my computer or anything like that, then we're going to have a replay. Okay, Lee's asking me to talk about SocialSync traffic and search capabilities. Okay, he's saying it's very interesting. Very, very briefly, Lee, very, very briefly. Okay, SocialSync, the benefits that SocialSync provides your website is obviously social signals. We know how important social signals are. We also just saw, by looking at page 1 genetics as well, guys, how some websites have managed, just by the sheer power of social signals, to get onto the first page of Google. But what SocialSyn helps you with, guys, is it helps you get links from sites that are looked at by Google and Google like them. It helps you get direct traffic from these social sites. So when your content goes to these social sites, guys, you're getting traffic as well. So when I told you about having so many links to your website and not having actual traffic coming, SocialSyn actually balances that out, because it'll get you links and it'll also get you traffic sent over to your website as well. And obviously you have other features on SocialSyn. You've actually got two features. One is a web hits feature, whereby you can enter your website URL, and users that from unique ISP level IPs will visit your website, spend some time on that website, and they'll actually click into an internal page. And by doing that, guys, it's going to reduce your bounce rate and increase the time spent on your site. The other feature is also a Google search and click feature. What this allows you to do, say for example you're ranking on the third page of Google for SEO services, what you could do inside of SocialSyn is create a campaign for Google search and click for SEO services, and submitters around the world or whoever are connected to SocialSyn will use ISP level IPs, search Google for SEO services. When they come to page 3 and they find your website, they'll click on that website, they'll stay on your website, and then they'll go to internal pages as well. What this is doing, this is going to be increasing your click-through rate, so to say, for your listing inside of Google, and this is obviously going to be increasing your website's ranking and your position inside of Google as well. Oh, fantastic. Tony's saying that he's recording this till the end. Let me know if you want this. That's brilliant stuff, Tony. I'll be sure to let you know. If you can just send me your email, Tony. Sorry, I'm going to be able to save that down then. And then I can be sure that I've actually got your email just in case just in case anything went pear-shaped. Linda, thank you very much, Linda. Linda said, by the way, I'm so glad I found you. Several weeks back, I bought several of your products via keyword genetics. I was so impressed as soon as page 1 genetics came out, I bought it as well. Thank you. So thank you very much, Linda. And I'm going to be making sure that, if you have any doubt whatsoever how you can put these tools to use. So now that I've actually got a GoToWebinar account, I can make up excuses to actually come online and really teach you how it's done. And actually, I've actually got a whiteboard from I work from home. I've actually got a whiteboard behind me. So, if it meant that I need to get the pen and the whiteboard out, then I should be able to feel a little bit more comfortable doing them kind of training sessions as well. Okay, Chris has also recorded a webinar. Fantastic, Chris. I've got your email here now as well. I've got Tony's email here as well. Fantastic stuff. Okay, Brian has made a note here. I have a domain that has been penalized. It goes up to the second page and then back down to the fourth page again. Would SocialSyn be a good bet to add some more diverse linking? I think the backlinking is over optimized, but there isn't that many links anyway. Okay, Brian, just to let you know, why our users, or the kind of users that we have on SocialSyn. We have users on SocialSyn that rely only on SocialSyn and only on SocialSyn alone to get their rankings. We have, and obviously sometimes it's never going to be enough. We have other users that have, and they know about high PR links, and they go out and source their high PR links, and they actually use SocialSyn to not dilute, but you can say for example, if you're going out there and you're getting lots and lots of high PR backlinks, now you need a source of some very good authority links that are going to be looked at by Google in a not a spammy way, and that's exactly where social media comes in. So you can look at it in a sense as, let's say for example, I think it was my brother once, when he was suffering from an illness, when I asked him how his medicines are working, he said to me, it's like a cloud, it brings like a barrier between the pain and it's like a cloud basically, but it's like a cloud between the barrier. So social media links are exactly the same. You're not going to get penalized for having so many social links. Google realizes if one Twitter account with 1,000 followers tweeted about your website, then you could suddenly have so many social links coming through or whatnot. The worst that's going to happen, guys, is that the links will be devalued and the work that you've been doing won't be counted for. But other than that, guys, social media links are brilliant to use for so many ways to dilute and to really get that diversity for your links, and to really include into a website's backlink profile with your high authority backlinks to make sure that you're not getting catched out. Okay, Pete is saying, is SocialSyn safe? Won't Google recognize as spamming and penalize sites? Well, let me answer this in a roundabout way, Pete. I don't like answering questions in a roundabout way, but just to protect our own SocialSyn system as well. So one of the things and one of the changes that we made to SocialSyn last year was that we removed URLs. Now, that was one of the only notes that I actually made to our users. Another note that I slightly made notes of was how SocialSyn now use multiple pools of our actual accounts. So just to give you a bit more of an understanding, but not to get too deep, guys. So if you imagine SocialSyn and imagine all of the accounts that are in SocialSyn as pools. So we might have, say, I don't know, say 30,000, 40,000 unique social media accounts inside of the system. But from them accounts, we have like, say, 10 pools. Inside of each pool, you might have 1,000 social accounts. And what happens each month or every few months, users rotate from one pool to the other pool. So let's say, for example, Google was to come onto our system and it was to join the system. Now, if it was to join the system, guys, then they would never be able to catch up with the amount of accounts because of the pool limitations that they would be put into. Now, let's say, for example, the pools bore 1,000 unique accounts of each account. So Blogger, I don't know, Facebook or whatnot you. So what would happen is if them accounts turned out and went down to, say, I don't know, they went down to 950 or whatever, when new users join the system, they will replenish them pools as well. So you might find a user join the system and some of their accounts will go into pool 1, pool 2, pool 3, pool 4. And at the same time, guys, we've got another layer of protection where users are allowed to add multiple accounts and multiple groups as well. So really, there's no chance in Google finding out about SocialSyn. If it was to find out about SocialSyn, then they could only, at the most, contaminate only one section. But just to let you know, guys, that we do have our own filters and our own procedures inside of SocialSyn to find out if any sites have been de-indexed. Again, it's very clear and easy to know how a site, if it has been de-indexed, just search for the URL. If it's not found, it's mostly been de-indexed. And if it has been de-indexed, our system will automatically disable it from the system anyway. Okay, let's have a look. Thank you, Linda. Thank you. Yes, it is my very first webinar, and you know, it is actually a milestone past now. To be honest with you, I'm actually out of my comfort zone totally. You know, when I'm normally on recording a video tutorial, I've got Camtasia open up, I've got the F9 key and F10 key ready to pause it, ready to close it. I can edit it and do so much more. With this though, however, I'm not able to do that. Okay, Alex is saying, been using SocialSyn for many months now and it has worked great. One thing I want to do but haven't is to build regular backlinks to my sites. Any idea what's the best way to do that? Building regular backlinks to your site, Alex, again, if you're using SocialSyn anyway, that should be helping you very, very well. But the other way to do that, don't forget internal linking is key as well. As you saw from keyword genetics here, you know, having internal links is very important. Google looks at them internal links. So if you're ever in doubt of, you know, you're always focusing on offsite, offsite, offsite and leveraging the authority from other domains, don't forget, you know, concentrate on your internal links, create more pages as well. That's certainly going to help you, and it's going to help you a lot. Okay, Linda's looking at Rebel Mouse, not entirely sure how it works, what it accomplishes. I've got a video tutorial on this, Linda. I'm going to try my best to get it together, and I promise I'm going to try and send it out to you guys for tomorrow or something. Okay, we've got Inig Moore here saying, hey Ravji, Inig Moore from Sweden here. I am stopping smoking. It's terrible here. Very nervous city life. Okay. Well done, Ingemar. You know, I used to smoke myself and I quit, I think, 2 years ago. So yeah, you know, it's good to stop smoking. Oh, okay. Add a link to the forum. Fantastic. David. Okay. I think David's one of the moderators. Oh, yes, David. Okay, fantastic. I've understood what it is now. I actually saw one of your posts earlier on, David, as well, saying, you know, you can send users to the forum. Fantastic. Okay, so we've actually got a forum. I'm going to leave a link to the forum. Okay, I'm going to put a link in here now. I'm sure you all know what it is anyway. It's autobacklinkbomb.com/forum. Okay, so that's our forum. I'm going to try my best to put a replay of this webinar on there as well. And when I do actually put a replay of the webinar on there, guys, then you can feel free to leave your comments and notes and posts and whatever you want on that forum. And I think we've got David here as well, who's promised to help out. Well, he hasn't promised to help out, but he's saying he's a helper. And I think he's recording the webinar as well. And of course, I'm going to be there, and I'm going to be trying my best to answer these questions as well. I really didn't realize that we were going to get so many questions. And again, we've still got hundreds of people on this webinar. So it seems that you're all finding everyone else's questions. We're all learning from each other, which is brilliant. Oh, okay, it doesn't work. That's okay. Brian, the link isn't working because I missed out one of the W's. It should have 3 W's in there. Again, the pressure from the webinar. I can't even get my fingers to type properly. Oh, okay, TL saying he looks forward to the replay. He's sorry he missed most of it. Not to worry, TL. I really hope that this has worked with recording. If not, we've got lots of users that have actually recorded this as well. Okay, Jeff is saying, what advice can you give to help rank a website that is not a niche topic? It is a client site that focuses on dozens of different topics. Honestly, Jeff, the best thing to do is to use the silo structure. If you've got a website that focuses on so many topics, the worst thing you can do is link from one topic to another topic, from niche to niche to niche. You want to try to keep everything relevant and related. So if you know that you've got a link from an for example, LCD TV, because I've got it in my head now, but let's say if you was having an LCD TV or a website about LCD TVs, plasma TVs and 3D TVs, then what you want to do is, instead of linking from LCD TVs to your plasma TVs and to your 3D TVs, is keep everything together so it's all compact and tightly related to your theme. So you know yourself, when a visitor comes looking for LCD TVs, they're going to be presented only with options to get different and various LCD TVs, and the same is true for Google as well. So when they click that link and go over to the other page, they're going to find content about that only page as well. So the best thing that you can do with a website that ranks or that focuses on dozens of things is really structure your content properly. Okay, can we have a minimize button put on keyword genetics? Yes, that's fine. We can get that done, Sam. If you can just either enter your comment in the forum, support forum, or if you can just email us, then we can actually get that scheduled to get that added on the next update. Oh, fantastic. David is actually making a thread in the forum, in the Auto Backlink Bong forum, about this webinar, and you can feel free to ask questions on there as well. And hopefully when David does create that thread as well, then we can actually go ahead and add the video recording of it there as well. Oh, I've just been told that the website isn't working. Let's have a look. autobacklinkbomb.com/forum. Okay, it is working, but I believe it might have been my error in actually getting this sent over to you. So I've sent the link again, and this time it's the real link and the working link. Okay, fantastic, David. Brilliant stuff. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Yes, you can go. The webinar's over now. We still do have a few hundred people on here on this call, but yes, you can continue to go. The webinar's over. The presentation's over. And I just hope that you had a good understanding of exactly how different factors can influence your rankings, and how different factors can play a role in where your website's ranking. So sometimes it can be about the backlinks, sometimes it can be about your content, sometimes it can be about the social signals, sometimes it can be about how you've actually optimized on-site, and sometimes it can be about both factors, your on-site and off-site working in harmony. Sometimes it can be about your domain factors as well, with the website age and the website history, and various things like that as well. Thank you, Jeff. Thank you, Richard. I'm not a pro yet, and I only hope that I can continue to offer you guys some cool webinars. What was the offer again, Patrick? There was no offer. It was just pure content for today's webinar, just showing you exactly how and what Google looks for in a page 1 Google ranking, and exactly how we can replicate whatever Google's already ranking in the first page of Google, and how to know exactly how to do the same and what we need to do as well. Oh, CTA saying make an offer, lol. Okay, I promise myself I'm not going to be offering anything in today's webinar. Honestly, it's just a webinar to get to know you guys. You've been my customers for years. I mean, you've seen some of the questions that I've read out here. One user said that, they went over to Keyword Genetics and got introduced to our products and they're really loving our products. So it's just a webinar for you guys to get to know me, see how I am as well, and obviously let me share my information and knowledge with you over the live call. Okay, we're getting a number of people saying make an offer. Okay, CTA saying you did a great job. You sound like your tutorials. Thank you very much. Okay, Linda saying that she just can't get the forum to open, and she's just not sure why. So Linda, this is the forum here. I'm clicking on refresh here. As you can see, the forum's loading. It might be a little bit slow. We've actually got this forum, and you're not going to believe it, but we've actually got this hosted on HostGator. Now, for any of our applications, though, guys, we don't use HostGator to host any of our sites. But yeah, on this one, we still use HostGator. Okay, is there an upgrade in the dashboard for Keyword Genetics for Page One Genetics? No, Dennis, there's not. Page One Genetics in total is not available for sale at the moment. Again, you can feel free to wait for our email later on in the week. I'm going to make you aware exactly how to get that. Okay, Sam, the Done For You service, what if you've already purchased it, then you should have an email making notes and giving you access to a members area where you can log in and choose your topics that you want to add your details, and let us know where to actually send the content. If you're actually asking about where to purchase it from, then send us an email, please. Email us at support@socialsyn.com. Again, support's not online at the moment, but they should be online very soon, and they'll send you an email and let you know. Okay, David is saying thread is up. Fantastic. I'm going to have a look at the thread. I believe it would be in the SEO discussion section. Here we go. Fantastic. David's put this up. White gold this is. And he's put up the webinar. He's put up the first thread. So if any of you have any questions and you'd like them to be replied to, then you can be sure that if you make a post on this forum, then it's going to be sticking around and I'm not going to lose it. And I'm not sure what's going to happen to these questions here, but I believe GoToWebinar does actually archive them for me and I'll be able to access them. Okay, what's the best email for us, please? It really depends on what product it is, but you can always get us to the same. You can always get the same customer staff, guys. So if you email support@bookmarklovers.com or support@socialsyn.com or keywordgenetics.com, always support or CS normally works for us after our domain. Okay, Ari is saying, will you be able to give us a slide to your presentation? Ari, the presentation is very small. There's only 15 pages. It's not the best of presentations as well, but if you do want it, then I can get it sent out to you as well. That's not a problem. I can make it available for tomorrow. So if you do want this presentation, that's fine. But again, if you might have to watch the webinar to understand it. You're welcome, Ari. Okay, good night, Malcolm, and I hope you enjoy the webinar. And guys, I think I'm going to wrap this up as well. It looks like, okay, everyone's looking forward to the emails. That's brilliant. So I'm going to wrap up this call. We've lost a couple of hundred people from the webinar as well, so it looks like everyone's slowly dropping off. We've still got 100 or so users online still, but I'm going to wrap it up. It is actually 8 o'clock. The webinar's taken 2 hours, but I hope the majority of the time was actually spent answering your questions, or at least half of the time was spent answering your questions, and half of the time was spent on the webinar. So I'm going to try my best to get a recording out for this webinar as well. I don't think I'm going to be emailing till tomorrow. It's 8 o'clock. I'm very tired. My voice is my voice is actually tired as well, because I've been speaking quite a lot. But anyway, guys, I thank you very much for attending this webinar. And again, if I wasn't the best of presenters, then it was the very first webinar, and I do apologize. So thank you very much, and I really hope you enjoy this.